Yo, yo, yo. Hold on. What's going on here? There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. I'm stream I'm streaming. Hold on, how does this work? One sec. There we go. What's going on, y'all? Y'all seen that knockout? Who's seen the knockout, man? I want some opinions. I want some opinions. I'm actually trying to stream multiple platforms right now. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, my private community, a bunch of different places. What's going on, guys? How you guys doing? What you guys thought about that knockout, man? What did you guys think about that knockout? Let me see something real quick. Testing something, guys. No? Okay. All right. What's going on, man? Everybody who's out there, talk to me, man. What did you guys think about the knockout? Before I talk about the knockout, I want to hear what you guys have to say. Said Jake Paul has a lot of weight behind him and maximum leverage. So now we're starting to get Jake Paul people believing in Jake Paul. Are you guys Jake Paul believers now? That's what I want to know. Are you guys Jake Paul believers now? Man, Shaman said nasty KO. Definitely was a nasty KO, man. Jay Sharp, I see you. Big shout out to you, man. I see you, Brooklyn in the building. Jay Rosas, what's going on? Instagram people, what's going on? Young Jack, I see you. I am streaming to multiple platforms. If you see me looking here, if you see me looking here, you know why. Okay. I haven't figured out how I'm gonna do this with the monitors yet. But right now, looking at some of the comments down here, Jake Paul's fight heavy. He's not fighting actual boxers. He fought a boxer tonight, 10-1. Andre August. I mean, he said he had 26 amateur fights. He was a real boxer. Anybody could look good against a certain level of boxers. Oh, Jamal, I'm not going to say anybody. You got to be careful when we say anybody can look good. Not anybody. Somebody who's got ability, somebody who hits hard, somebody who is strong in shape, has been getting the proper training, but not anybody. You have to be careful. We have to be careful what we say. My YouTube people, I still don't think that knockout legitimizes Jake Paul. We need to see him against Badu Jack or some other top heavyweights. Well, check it out. This is my opinion on this. This is my opinion on this, y'all. So we have to remember, y'all, Jake Paul. We have to remember that Jake Paul is what, 8-1? He's 8-1. So how many guys was he supposed to be fighting um at the highest level at 8-1? You want him to fight somebody like Jake Paul? I mean somebody like Badu Jack. Badu Jack's a seasoned former, or is he a current world champion? I think he's a former world champion. He might be current. I'm not sure. I believe he's a former world champion. Jake Paul's on 8-1. So I think we forget because Jake Paul is such a superstar. We forget that he's only 8-1 and he has no amateur background. A lot of professional fighters that you guys are fans of don't even fight top guys until they're 15, 20 fights in. So he's still developing. You know what I'm saying? We do have to remember that. I still don't know what to think about Jake Paul, Instagram in the building. Well, I think you can say that he's got a good team behind him. Let's just put it that way. He's not going to do good with top level boxers. Well, it just depends. It just depends. You know what I'm saying? So, for the people out there, look, man, I'm just going to give you my opinion because everybody's going to have an opinion, right? This is my final opinion on the situation. Jake Paul is a fighter with zero amateur background. He has came into the professional boxing ranks and fought Tyrone Woodley, a former UFC champion, Anderson Silva, UFC champion, Ben Axe whatever, UFC fighter, not a striker, okay, bar none, okay. Some other UFC fighter recently, right? He fought like 3 or 4 UFC fighters, and now he has fought a professional fighter who's 10-1, 26 amateur fights, so he says. 26 amateur fights, 10-1 against no real competition. I looked at Andre's resume, his box. He had one winning record on his record, which was the guy right before Jake Paul, which was 7-0. However, Jake Paul has a better resume than a lot of boxers that are 8-0 right now. Jake Paul has a better resume than Andre August, 10-1, right? So we have to remember that Jake Paul, though he is getting the clout of a superstar, which anybody who knows boxing knows, he's not superstar level, right? He's not the biggest star in. Well, let me rephrase what I'm saying. He is a star, but he's not superstar skill wise as far as boxers go. He's getting the praise as if he is a superstar from the casuals, right? But anybody who knows boxing knows that you have to build yourself up, especially if you have no amateur background. So with him having no amateur background and fighting the people who he's fighting, he's actually fighting better opposition than a lot of professional fighters that are 8-0 who are getting moved properly. How many guys go down to Mexico and build their records up? Or go to these small cities and small towns and build their record up before they get exposed in a big fight? Well, Jake Paul's doing the same thing. He is getting moved correctly. He's getting moved correctly. He's fighting names. Now he just fought himself a professional fighter with more boxing professional rounds under his belt. So I think that even though it's easy to hate a guy like Jake Paul, it's easy to hate him. You do have to respect that he is actually doing this. He is actually competing with guys. And I think that though he may not be as good as the people, like my man who compared him to Badou Jack. I mean, of course, I don't think he could beat Badou Jack. However, the fact that he can even get a fight with Badou Jack at this stage is crazy because you would never expect Badou Jack to fight anyone who's only 8-0, even if he was a prospect, even if he was a former Olympian. You would say, yeah, he won the Olympics or he went to the Olympics, but Badou Jack's a very seasoned professional. Let's wait till he gets a little bit more experience. But us as boxing fans, we're looking to throw Jake Paul right into the deep end, right off the rip, forgetting that this is a kid with no amateur background and is already fighting professional fighters, whether they be from the UFC or boxing. So we gotta at some point, boxing people, we have to at some point give credit where it's due. Um, Not saying that I'm a believer of Jake Paul being this future superstar. I'm not saying that by any means. I don't know where he's gonna go. I'd be a liar if I said he's gonna fail, because we can never tell what a man's gonna do with his life. We can never tell a man he's not gonna make it. That's like when a kid 30 years old comes to me and says, "Yo, am I too old to do this?" If I told him no, you know what I'm doing? I'm lying to him, because it's been done before, right? Imagine if somebody told you you couldn't do something that you know you really want to do. So we don't know if Jake Paul's going to be a world champion. We can't say he can't do it. How the hell can we say that? How can we say that? However, do I think he's prepared to do it today? No. I think he needs more training, more experience, continue to get moved properly. And you never know who's going to have the world title when he's ready to fight for the world title. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing we got to remember. Guys win world titles sometimes because the opponent's the right world champion to fight. And we don't know who is going to be the world champion at cruiser or wherever Jake Paul decides to fight for the title when his time comes. So tonight, we got a big knockout. Easy to hate the guy. I totally understand the concept. We hate to see a guy come from another background, come into the sport, and make all this money off the sport. He's only able to do that. Why? He's only able to do that because he's able to sell tickets. He's only able to do that because he's marketed himself very well outside of boxing and was able to work hard enough to market himself into boxing. So we have to give Jake Paul his respect at least for that. Now, for everybody who thinks Jake Paul is Canelo level and all that type of shit, you guys done bumped your head. He's not that good. How he won tonight and he's being moved properly. I do not disagree with how he's being moved. I do not disagree. If his actual goals, if his actual goals, okay, if his actual goals are if his actual goals is to give me 1 second, I'm gonna send to Zach real quick. Zach, I'm gonna send it to your email. All right. If his actual goals, like I was saying, is to become a world champion, okay, ladies and gentlemen. Oh yeah, and for the record, everybody right now, grab my number 215-709-5437. All right, let me get to my point. Actual goals is to become a world champion. He needs to gain experience. He doesn't be fast track, because if he gets fast track, he gets knocked the fuck out. That's how boxing works.
Yo,
Zach, what's good?
what's good, Coach Ant?
Can't hear you.
Oh, can you hear me? Hello? Like, can you hear me?
No sound.
No
Oh,
sound?
you know
What?
what? That might be on my end. My bad.
Yeah.
You know what's hard for me right now, bro?
What's up? I saw you were double streaming.
Let me see. So I hope I didn't close out my Instagram.
Chat, you can hear me? Okay, you can. You can.
Am I still on the gram?
Let me check. I would have my camera on. My camera's packed, so I can't really do anything like that. So
Okay. Anyway, go ahead, Zach. It's all good. I mean, now the thing I'm using is allowing me to stream into Instagram.
Kenyon give it to you?
Allowing me to go into Instagram now.
Did Kenyon give it to you?
No.
Oh, you found? Oh, damn! I thought you hit
No,
a
as soon
Kenyon.
as I logged on, it said the Instagram option is now available. So I decided to throw this onto Instagram as well.
Hey, what do you think about the knockout today?
I just finished giving my opinion. I just went on a whole rant about it, Zach. You missed it?
No, I did miss it. I just came in now, so like I did miss a little bit. But
okay, so basically what I'm saying to the people is this. a lot of people who don't like Jake Paul
Mhm.
are like, he's a fraud, he's this, he's that, or he should fight a top name fighter, which I agree. If he's gonna get the praise of a top name fighter, it would be nice to see him actually fight a top name fighter.
Yeah.
However, he's only 8-1. He's only 8-1 with no amateur background. I understand why he's fighting guys that are, arguably more experienced than him still. I mean, Anderson Silva, to me, was a good win because Anderson Silva can actually box. He actually beat Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
Yeah.
Right? He fought, his one loss was to Tommy Fury, who's been boxing basically his whole adult life. And then, of course,
Tommy Fury's not anything great.
Yeah, he's not anything great, but you can see that he really has been boxing for.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
100%.
And then you have guys like Andre August, who, yes, he didn't look good tonight. He looked nervous.
I mean, he looked like, for me, he looked like he was in there.
His defense looked poor. He looked nervous and everything like that, and he got knocked out bad. However, he did have a legitimate boxing record of 10-1, right? He had one winning fight on his 10 fights, a guy who was 7-0. He also fought 20-something amateur fights, so he says. So if these are all legitimate things, I mean, who do you expect Jake Paul to fight as an 8-0 guy?
But on the back end, though, he does put it on, like all the shit talk he does and all that. He does put it on the back end for himself. So he needs to, for him to get the praise, he has to fight top names, regardless if they're good or not, right? He kind of puts it on himself because you're coming into boxing as a guy who's already so popular. If he would have fought like the way the regular pro route, I don't think he would be where he's at right now. But
but hold on. We have to remember, he's not where he's at because he is a good fighter.
No, but that's my point. That's my point.
He's a Nickelodeon or Disney star, right?
That was my point. That was my point. I said the reason why he had to fight the top fighters, not top fighters, but the biggest names, was because of the fact he came into the space already super popular. That's what I'm saying.
No. But that don't mean you have to fight the big names because
I'm saying because his shit talk made. That's what I'm saying. I
know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, Zach. But what I'm trying to explain to you is, it doesn't matter if you shit talk. At the end of the day, you are to fight people on your level, on your road to the top until you get to a certain point. Correct. For most people. Now, if you are a Olympian gold medalist like Lomachenko, who could step right into the professional ranks and fight the best, that's a different story. But this guy got no amateur background.
Yeah, no.
So he fought a guy today who's 10-1 and knocked him out in the first round. Say what you want about the situation. Who else is he supposed to be fighting in true reality?
No, I agree with you.
Your favorite fighters box rec. Go to for everybody in the chat who's talking crazy. I'm not a Jake Paul guy, for the record. I am just a realist. Go to your favorite fighters box rec and look up their first 10 to 15 fights and tell me who the hell they fought. You see what I'm saying?
No, correct. No, you're right. I'm just saying that like when he came in, he was already super popular. I'm not saying I'm saying that's the reason why he fought the celebrities first and all that. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying anything else.
Kenyon Simmons, big shout out to Kenyon Simmons, because Vesper, I got love for you, Vesper. You're in my chat a lot.
Not anybody can beat Chavez.
You cannot say stupid shit like this. Okay, this is a fact. Listen, to anybody who's in my chat right now, this is a fact now. Listen, half the motherfuckers in this chat can't beat Zach up. And Zach's been boxing for 5 fucking months. Most of you motherfuckers can't beat Zach up. Talking about, come on, coach. Anybody could be Julio Cesar Chavez.
Yeah, come on.
Get the fuck out of here, bro. You sound disrespectful as fuck, bro.
That's disrespect. He got in there with Daniel Jacobs, Canelo. Come on now.
Like, bro, this shit gotta stop. You motherfuckers who never boxed before, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful to you, Vesper, because you're a cool kid, but stop the bullshit. Because you motherfuckers can't fight talking about anybody could beat this guy. No, the fuck you can. You have to fucking train. You have to get in shape. You have to fucking spar. That's how it fucking works. I've been doing this shit for almost 25 years. I've never seen a motherfucker come off the street and just beat niggas the fuck up.
Yeah, he made him go crazy.
It don't work like that. Y'all gotta stop this shit, man. I've been putting out an educational YouTube channel now for fucking years. How many more videos do I gotta put out for motherfuckers to understand that this is a skill that you have to fucking practice?
100%.
You don't just wake up a fucking boxer. Okay, Jake Paul is not Canelo. We all fucking know that. Congratulations. You're a genius if you don't think he could beat Canelo. However, he still is doing it the right way for him.
100%. Can I say something?
That's all I'm saying, man.
Can I say something?
Why is this shit so hard to understand?
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
I will say, and I'm looking at Kenyon's chat right now. I agree. He should. I think right now he's moving at a good pace where he fought somebody that's not really known, so he can get more experience. And I think he should fight again in 2 months. Fight a lot. So then when he gets the big fights, they're gonna be versus better opposition. So I was saying, I think now he's getting paced really, really well. Like I think you said that too. I think now he's getting paced in the right way than he was before. You know what I'm saying?
He said the right shit. He said the right shit when he said, I want to build myself up now.
Yeah.
Look, he beat Anderson Silva, man. Say what y'all want. That was a solid victory. Tyron Woodley, though he got knocked out the way he did, it's a solid victory for a guy with no amateur experience who's 4-0, 5-0. I don't care what anybody says.
It's like what you said before.
There's amateurs who can't make it to 10-0 as a novice.
Yeah.
You got amateurs that can't win their first. Matter of fact, I'd be willing to do a percentage. Most amateur fighters don't win their first 10 amateur fights. Most amateur fighters. Okay, so, it's not as easy as it fucking looks, man.
Yeah.
It's not as easy as it
looks. I will say the guys that you can't I could hardly shit on the guys that Jake Paul fights for MMA, like the MMA fighters, because boxing is included in MMA, so they have experience in boxing. So you can't really like Anderson Silva, like you said, he beat like Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. The guy is legit. Not saying he's the best in the world, but he's legit enough. Like Anderson Silva was one of the best strikers in the world, and Jake Paul beat him. As plain and simple, you can't knock Jake Paul all that fact. Yeah, he was old. Who gives a fuck? But at the end of the day, he still beat a guy who was considered as one of the best strikers in MMA. Tyron Woodley, look, all these guys have boxing experience. You can't. They have more than Jake Paul. Pretty much all the MMA guys he faced, other than Ben Askren.
Listen. Now, let's not take this for anything wrong. And this is for anybody in here who's a fighter, okay? This is for my fighters, potential fighters, and even some of you coaches. This is education to market yourself. Mm-hmm. The reason why this man is making the money he's making, because he's not afraid to talk shit. He's not afraid to sell the fight. When he was talking shit at the weigh-in or at the press conference, August is like, I ain't gonna say nothing. And what did he do? He worked himself up so he could talk some shit. And then he talked shit after the fight. Guess what? You're gonna watch his next fight now. He got me doing a live stream because of the fight now. All the boxing people are gonna talk about this shit for a couple of days. We're gonna see Instagram posts all over the place. And guess what happens? He makes more money. Then you got the talented fighter in here who wants to be a fucking mute and wonder why he broke. Listen, if you want to make money in life, you have to market yourself. Yeah. Don't expect nobody to market you. This is an individual thing, unfortunately. I know not every fighter wants to do it, but guess what? That's cool. You ain't got to do anything you don't want to do. But don't be mad when guys like Jake Paul get noticed and you don't, because you kept your mouth shut. Yep. You see what I'm saying? So this is a business education lesson for you guys out there who want to be successful in life. It's called use the internet, market yourself. Don't be afraid to talk. Don't be afraid to get on camera and fucking take a risk of people cursing you out and calling you stupid and calling you a fraud and saying you're not going to make it. Because at the end of the day, anybody can say anything. It doesn't matter what they say. What matters is results.
Yep.
And the results that Jake Paul has gotten are the results of a man who marketed himself and has a good team, and they're selecting the right fights, and they're going to continue to select the right fights. And mark my words, he will fight for a title at some point. Now, who's he going to fight for the title? I don't know.
I think it could be like a Kambosos.
I don't know.
I think it could be like a not like the fighters, but I think if he does fight for one, it's gonna be it's just gonna be good timing. I feel like when he fights for a world title, it's gonna be such good timing where it's kind of gonna be like you remember when this is a real fucking crazy analogy, but when like Kambosos fought Haney, I remember you saying that like it was just a perfect time for Haney to become undisputed. You know what I'm saying? Like it could be a perfect time for Jake Paul to get a world title at a point based on what weight division he fights in. You feel me? But I will say, going back to what you said, for me, I don't like that Andre August wasn't talking.
Hold on. Yo, Mr. Special Feature, check this out, brother. Don't do that. Don't do that, because I was the one who said that about Zach. Zach ain't say nothing. Zach is just coming on here to have a conversation. I'm the one who's talking in general to the people. But don't come in here trying to call my people out, man. Zach's on my team, and you come in here showing love, right? So just show love, man. You feel me? We're not doing that. We're not disrespecting. You know what I mean? Zach's not even in the competitive mindset. He's simply learning the craft, losing weight with it, doing something positive. But you know what I'm saying? Try to call people out for smoking all that. We're not doing that, bro. Come on, man. I like you, man. I don't want to have to block you from my channel. You feel me? Anyway, continue.
But I will say I don't like how Andre August really like handled the situation. As you said, like marketing yourself, he could have potentially after the fight, even if he got knocked out, as long as he talked his shit, he would have got another big fight lined up. Like, but he didn't talk his shit. He was just quiet all press conference. He didn't really talk. But my thing is, it's like, is that way? It goes back to marketing yourself. I think Andre August should have used this time to market himself. You know what I'm saying? Use the time to market himself. And
who are you talking about, Zach?
Andre August. I'm talking about Andre August.
No, exactly. But you know what that tells me? Deep down, he knew what he was getting himself into.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
He knew what he was getting himself into, and what that was is a situation where he didn't want to sound like a cocky fighter, and then what happened tonight happened and become a whole meme over it. So I know why he didn't do it. I get why he didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? However, you know, you knew you were getting this opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, you know, I feel like he didn't come in. I don't know what he was doing tonight, you know, and I like the kid. We actually follow each other on Instagram. Andre August and I follow each other. He actually hit me up a year or two ago, about 2 years ago, and asked me to train him. And for whatever reason, it didn't happen. I don't know why it didn't happen. But, man, I wish I did now looking back at it, because it's like there was a lot of fundamental things that he was doing that was wrong. And I feel like, man, he could have did better in this fight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Even when he got dropped, I mean, the way he had his block up, his both of his hands were by the side of his temple. He never closed it up. You know what I'm saying? He was like this. You know, he was sitting in front. He just didn't look prepared for this kind of a fight, man. He just did not look prepared at all.
But that goes to for me. That's why I say he should have used the time to market himself, regardless if he got knocked out or not. Like, he would have gotten a big fight lined up again, like another opportunity to fight somebody big, like an influencer or whatever. That's why I said that he should have used the time to market it, because he already looked like he didn't think he was gonna win coming into it. He didn't look confident. He looked like he was gonna fold under pressure, and he did. But I felt like he could have used that time to market himself, so then he could get another fight lined up, so where he can get that bag. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. I know you don't want to be a meme, but sometimes, like, he doesn't.
I mean, he's gonna end up being a meme anyway, because that's just how boxing works.
Yeah.
But you know, my whole thing is, I know where his mindset was. His mindset was, I'm gonna shock the world, but I'm gonna do it on a humble note. He probably thought he would do better. Listen, I don't think unless you're fighting, you know what I'm saying, the top fighters in the world, I don't think anybody goes into a fight expecting to get knocked out in the first round. Like, that's not really like a thought process that goes through. At least it wouldn't go through my head. Like, if I was fighting, even if I was fighting Canelo, like, I would not, in my mind, I'm saying to myself, I'm going to make it out the first round. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of great fighters been knocked out in the first round, though. It happens. But I don't think any real fighter goes into a fight expecting to get knocked out in the first round unless you're fighting like, I don't know, a Deontay Wilder or Mike Tyson or, somebody who's known for just devastating, knocking dudes out. I think that if you're fighting someone like Jake Paul and you got 11 professional fights, 26 amateur fights, you're probably expecting to go the distance at bare minimum, losing a decision. You're not expecting to get knocked out in the first round unless you came in totally unprepared. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think and I'll say, I was gonna respond to somebody. I remember Vesper said that Jake Paul could beat Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. I mean, that's for me. I don't know about that fight, but you can't straight up disrespect Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. like what Coach Ant was saying. But I think a great person for Jake to fight if he wants to go back on the big fight thing was Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor been talking his shit. Jake been talking his shit. They've been talking about that for years. I think if they want a big fight, where I know Jake wants to go the pro route now, where he wants to get paced a little bit, get more fights, get more experience and stuff like that. So I think if he wanted the big fight, Conor McGregor's there easily.
Yeah, and you know what? He puts up a good fight. Him and Conor McGregor make it for an interesting fight because, I mean, at this point, Conor McGregor is already getting a little bit older. See, what this shows, man, and listen, I hope that this also inspires some people because, again, my channel is not really a channel where I care so much about talking about other fighters that often. I do reviews for big fights like this or whatever. But this is mainly a boxing education channel, right? This is where we teach boxing. We explain real situations in boxing, everything from the mindset, the nutrition, the fundamentals, etc. And I get the question all the time, can I learn this? Is this something that I can actually learn? Am I too old to learn this? Can my kids learn this? And this is proof. Jake Paul has proven that you can learn this. Now, there's levels to everything. There's levels to everything. There's levels to fighting, coaching, making money, everything in life. There's levels. So you can always find somebody better than you. You can always find somebody who could beat you, but that doesn't mean you can't learn it. And this should be inspiration for the people who want to learn because not everybody cares to be a world champion. Not everybody cares to knock people out. Some people just want to learn boxing so they know that they can actually do it to a degree. And this is proof that it can be learned. It just takes a certain amount of determination, a certain amount of dedication, and willingness to put the work in. That's really all it comes down to. And, I think that we should look at the positives more than the negatives a lot of the times. There's a lot of positives that's coming out of this. You can get inspiration. The females are getting they're getting eyes put on them. Fighters who are on the undercard are getting eyes put on them. And at the end of the day, you can't be mad at Jake Paul. He already built his platform before he came to boxing. He didn't come to boxing and build the platform. He was already a built platform, and all he did was combine boxing with it. You feel me?
Yeah, I never sit here and disrespect Jake Paul at all. But for me, bro, I do think. Like I get what you're saying because even for me, like when I wanted to learn boxing, I wanted to learn boxing just as a self-defense tool. I didn't want to learn it as and a good way to lose weight. I didn't want to just learn it like be an amateur like fighter or be a pro fighter. I did it just because I wanted to lose weight and I had a little bit of like a tiny bit of experience of it doing it when I was younger, but like it wasn't all about just trying to be a pro fighter. I just wanted to know I can do it. You feel me?
I think most people come into the sport not looking to be a pro fighter. Most people, I think that most people just want to try it out, and some people they just get good at it, man. And once you get good at anything, you always want to test yourself. I mean, we can get anybody in this chat, including you, Zach. You like I said about you, man. Like the gentleman in here. he challenged you to a fight, he don't know that you ain't training for that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, within time, if you continue to train, if you continue to lose weight, if you continue to stay on your path, you will be willing to take a fight like that one day. Because what's going to happen is you're going to build confidence. You're going to have a certain amount of sparring under your belt. You're going to have a certain amount of grit under your belt from completing the workouts. You know what I'm saying? The workouts alone are grueling. Then you got the sparring, which is grueling. You do that enough times, now you're like, you know what? I
You might
want
as
to
well
take
fight
this
somebody.
to another level. I want to see what I can do in front of people. You know, I want to see if I could win a fight. It's just like if somebody started running a marathon. Started running. They might not have goals to be a marathon runner, but you run enough miles for enough days out the year. Eventually, you're gonna say, you know what, man? I'm gonna try a 5K.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then a 5K will turn into a 10K, and then so on and so forth.
I mean, it's like what you said to me when I first hit the bag. I remember when you were first like teaching me a little bit after I trained with Eddie for a bit. You were like, man, give it a year, get all the weight off, maybe do an amateur fight if you really want to. I'm like, shit, I might do that. I was thinking about it. But for me, like if it gets to a point where I like do lose all the weight and I keep on training, which I want to keep on training, I probably will. Like you're right, I will. But definitely I didn't have any things about going pro or anything like that whatsoever, or going amateur. I would want to have an amateur fight at one point though. You are correct.
I think it's a good thing for men to do, especially because as men, we all think we could fight, right? I mean, men think they could fight and they've never fought before. Like this is a fact. Like I could bring you around 100 men right now. Most of them think they could fight. They've never fought before. Usually, you could do something when you've done it before. But as men, we believe that we could do it and we've never done it before because we have testosterone. And testosterone is something that fuels the ego. And then the ego gets us to believe that we're stronger than what we are, faster than what we are, smarter than what we are, et cetera, et cetera. So I think as men, if you really want to find out, the best thing to do is to find your local boxing establishment, walk in and test yourself the same way I did. I walked into a boxing ring. A boxing gym. I thought I could fight. And I told the dude, man, I could fight. You know what I'm saying? He said, you could fight? I bet. He threw the headgear on me. I got my ass beat. You see what I'm saying? And all that did was teach me how much I had to learn. Luckily, I have the personality trait of somebody that's willing to learn when I know I don't know everything. But I needed to get my ass beat to learn that. And I think that most men need to go through that because a lot of men never been through that before. They just talk their way out of fights all their lives by either intimidating a person by how they look or whatever the case may be. And then they were able to really start to believe the hype, but they've never been tested. So there's one great way to do it, fellas. If y'all really believe y'all could fight, right? Go down to a boxing gym and find out. They're not hard to find. There's boxing gyms throughout the United States of America. You ain't got to come to the gym we at. You can find one around the corner, a couple miles from your house. And go ahead and find out. And then you'll come back on the channel later and be like, yo, Coach Ant, you was right, man. This shit's a lot harder than I thought it was. And I say, I know it is, my brother. And guess what? I'm not mad at you because that was me one time. I used to think I could fight too before I had to put in many, many rounds to be able to be on this platform to talk to you guys the way I do. Because believe me, I don't talk on here with no experience. You feel me? I talk on here through experience. So it's like I understand how difficult this shit really is.
Now, facts. That's what I was gonna say. And to go off topic real quick, did you watch Sonny Edwards?
I did not.
He does fight tomorrow. Tomorrow, yeah, he fights. And there's a bunch of fights going on. We got UFC, Colby Covington versus Leon Edwards. We got boxing. You got Ryo and Chris Colbert fighting tomorrow. And I forgot.
I'm excited for the Chris Colbert fight, obviously, because we got a chance to spar Chris last week. Chris Colbert from Brooklyn, New York. Shout out to him. I know he has a very tough rematch tomorrow, correct?
Yep. With Jose Venezuela, I think it's.
Well, Jose Venezuela, we all know that was a tough, controversial fight the last time they fought. Based off the sparring, I'm just going to say that I believe Chris is going to be prepared tomorrow. But he's got a tough task in front of him. That kid could fight. So ain't no easy fight for anybody. He's got to do what he's got to do. I'm excited for that fight, man. I'm definitely tuning in. What's that gonna be on?
Showtime. It's the last ever card Showtime's putting on.
Wow, that's major.
Yeah, it's the last
That's
ever one.
major,
I think they got David Morrell fighting on the main event. Morrell versus somebody. I forgot who it was. But they also they put on a sleeper card for the last card. I can't lie. It's a decent card. And then USC and then Bam Rodriguez versus Sonny Edwards, which I think is a low key fight of the year. To be honest with you, they're both super. Like they're both. That's such a 50-50 fight. I really don't know who's gonna win on either side. They both have great specialties. So that's what I mean. So I think it's a great fight. So I can't wait for that tomorrow. USC is tomorrow with a massive card too. I'm watching that. Watching everything.
Mr. Special Features, all love, Coach. I apologize for my comment earlier. I was starting training for some reason. Same reason Zach did, because he loved boxing. Yeah, brother, that's all it is, man. Listen, I'm all about respect. You feel me, bro? Like, I would never disrespect anybody. I just expect y'all to show respect back. You feel me? That's all this channel is about. It's about education, respect, spreading knowledge, giving you guys an opportunity to chop it up with us, giving you guys a voice. That's all we're here to do, man. So when somebody disrespects my inner circle, I got to speak up, man. That's just how I get down, man. But much love to you, my brother.
Andre Berto's fighting tomorrow as well. Versus Robert Guerrero.
He's fighting tomorrow.
Yeah, man. Versus Robert Guerrero.
Oh shit! That would have been a good fight 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's on the Showtime card. I just saw Kenyon say it, and I looked it up, and it actually is on that.
That's dope.
My god, that's a fight I didn't think was gonna happen.
Is this pay-per-view?
No, the fight night on Showtime.
Oh, dope! So yeah, expect me to go live tomorrow, guys. Do a live stream. I think that this is gonna be super fun. Tomorrow's their last thing, man. So we should definitely do that, Zach. And then we should probably do some sort of a tribute video on YouTube for this too, Zach. Talk about one of my favorite Showtime fights. I'm gonna have to go back in history and see which fights was on Showtime. But we'll definitely.
There's so many fights tomorrow, man. There's so many fights. Like and even in the MMA world, I can't wait for those fights tomorrow for UFC. That's gonna be one of the biggest cards of the year as well. Man, it's a full fight weekend tomorrow. We got a whole good fight weekend. I think I'm most excited for Sonny Edwards.
What do you mean a fight weekend? Oh, because there's two different cards tomorrow.
2 different cards and a big UFC card, a massive UFC card. But I mean, my most hype fight is Sonny Edwards versus Bam Rodriguez. That's for me. That's my most hype fight. I love that fight. But I think under that's the Showtime, and then UFC is definitely up there too as well. So I'm gonna have a good time tomorrow. Shit.
Yeah. Tomorrow's a good day of boxing, man. So whatever y'all gotta do tomorrow, if y'all gotta go to the gym, y'all better make sure y'all go to the gym early. If y'all gotta go Christmas shopping, y'all better go get that early, because y'all not gonna want to miss tomorrow. You guys are gonna want to be locked in. I'm like 99.9% sure I'm gonna be live tomorrow. We can get in here, we could kick it, we could talk about the fights, we could score some of these fights. I don't know how many fights I'm gonna stream, but definitely plan on going live tomorrow, man. I want to say thank you to everybody who showed up tonight. Any last words you want to say, Zach?
As usual, CoachAnthonyBoxing.com. Get the Master Boxing Bundles. Respect Coach and if you don't respect the world-class knowledge, once again, you got to get at the channel. Just beat it at the end of the day if you don't respect this man's knowledge.
Listen, funny thing you say that, man, because, for Black Friday, right, I did the sale, Zach. Right, the biggest sale I ever did in my life. Like it was so disrespectful to myself how cheap I went. But a lot of people took me up on the offer, and big shout out to everybody who did. I got a lot of people who show love. However, there was a good amount of people who hit me up like, "Oh man, you raised the price." But you know what's crazy? My sale that I got right now is cheaper than my Black Friday sale from last year. So even though is more expensive than my Black Friday sale from this year, is actually cheaper than my Black Friday sale from last year, and people went crazy for my Black Friday sale for last year. So what that tells me is the perception. People don't even realize what they're getting because I give them such a good price on what I have that when I do raise the price just a little bit. I mean, we were selling courses for $47, now they're $79. We were selling the Master Boxing Bundle for $297, now it's $397.
People
at the
make
end
money
of the
off
day-
your courses, man. Just remember that.
And
Remember
not
that.
only that,
fact.
man, I had a guy DM me, tell me literally that I got the testimonial. I will start posting these on these shit. He makes 10 to 20K a month based off the knowledge he's learned off my courses, man. So I'm about to really raise the prices. You know that. Like, hold on, you making 20 bands a month off my information? That's crazy now. But seriously, though, at the same time. So, guys, man, get over to the website. Because I am going to raise the price. $397 is not going to last. $79 is not going to last. For everybody in this chat who has paid more, you guys already know that I've charged $300 for courses in the past, and I've even charged as high as $2,500 for the Master Boxing Bundle in the past, even though it's really like $4,800, but I always gave like a 50% sale or something like that. You know what I mean? So anyway, man, I'm out of here, man. Tomorrow we got a big day of fighting, man. I hope you guys take me up on the offer. I already gave my number on the chat for most of this chat. 215-709-5437. Again, much love and respect to everybody who pulled up in here, man. And again, y'all already know what time it is, man. Boxing Line.
Yep.